Welcome back to ReZero Anime Review, episode number 77. We are here reviewing ReZero Volume 27, the second book of the 7th arc of the light novels. Yep, second book. Yeah, started with the previous book, this is book 2. This is not exactly the halfway point, but there's a very interesting ending to this one. Yes, Rem is in the book. Yep. They do introduce several new characters here in this book, called Flop, his sister Medium, very beautiful woman, Todd, Lonan, yeah, and a bunch of these beautiful women. So mostly they're still in the Empire of Baka. You have Subaru, who at one point is referred to as Miss in the book, despite the fact it's a guy. Rem, who doesn't do a lot in this book. Yeah, surprisingly, Rem does practically nothing. I mean, her big thing was that she woke up after being in a coma for quite a while. She'd basically been asleep since like book 9. And she finally woke up in book 26. And what does she do? As soon as he's Subaru, does she embrace him? Nope, she attacks him. She has basically lost her memories. She basically regained her name. And a lot of this book is basically Rem just not doing very much. Subaru does do much. A lot of this book is basically focused on just introducing a whole lot of new characters. There are conflicts of this whole book. Plus, if you're curious, how long is this book? This book is, if you don't count the afterword, this book is 227 pages, which not bad for a length of a light novel. Yes, and this book just came out. Just came out, like, not that long ago. Is the book good? Yes. Yes, it is. I just recommend just checking the book out to understand basically what's going on here. But Super, all he desires is to get back to the kingdom of Lagunia. Now, there is a mention in the book of basically all of the characters of the series. Emilia, Ram, Priscilla, who, spoiler alert, shows up at the end of the book. Yeah, she's basically here. Why is she here? Well, we'll find out when book 28 comes out. Beatrice, like all the regular cast are mentioned in this book, but none of them are here. Purely because they weren't transported. Of course, they also did bring up that the girl who was formerly the bishop of the Archers of Gluttony, where she has also lost her memories to the sister of, well, because in the previous book, basically, Rem was basically mad at him for trying to kill a child, despite the fact his child was also related to the same person who took away her memories. Apparently, any kind of mark identifying her as Archbishop of Gluttony has disappeared. What happened to it? Either the child is de-aged, I'm not sure. But that's one of the things that happens in this book. But I just recommend checking this book out. Yes, I did spoil Priscilla to show up in the book, but people probably be spoiled now already. Because they're probably reading either fan translations. But me, I've been reading the official translations of this book. Yes, published by Yin Press, who I gotta point out to do a much better job translating names than they do with Overlord. Which for Overlord, they change a lot of people's names for no reason. Heck, they even call Ainz's country, which is referred to in the anime, in the manga, and the fan translation of the light novels as a Sorcerer Kingdom. In their translation, they refer to it as the Kingdom of Darkness. And they refer to one of the co-creators of the elves as Boiling Teapot, even though that's not the character's name. They refer to Delta by an alternate name, which for some reason the dub decided to use the novel translation of her name, despite the fact that's not actually her name. Yeah. But looking forward to when ReZero Season 4 comes out, which they confirm is next year, by the way. I guess book roughly 9 out of 10. Yes, I'm very happy Season 4 is coming out next year, which means don't have to wait a particularly long period of time. Not really. But, in the case of ReZero light novels, well, as currently as of right now, there is one more as of currently left to be reviewed, and that being the fifth and final of the prequel series, EX. After that, just waiting whenever they release their book here. Which, so, in terms of the light novels, so, Volume 27 just came out just barely a month ago. And there is no confirmed release date yet for the very next book. Which I don't know why. Oh, by the way, this book came out roughly 7 months after the previous book did. Yeah, 7 months. It's unknown why we don't have a release date yet for the next book. I'm hoping for one soon. Oh, and this book arc is not going to be 5 books. It's going to be, believe it or not, 8 volumes, which make it longer than even Arc 4, which that was 6. So this arc is going to be quite a while. But look how the 2 arcs come after this one, not very long. Yes. Oh, there's actually Volume 6. I didn't know that. Yeah. And I can get my hands on Volume 5, no problem. But it looks like that Volume 6 has been released in Japan 7 months ago, but it's not released here yet. Yeah. But I have heard a rumor of why it took so long to get these books released here. Which, by the way, this book came out 4 years ago in Japan. Why it take 4 years for the book to come out here? I've read that the reason why these books are taking so long to release over here, licensing. Yeah, licensing. Unlike, let's say, another book series that I've read. The High School DxD books, which they took a long time to release here. Like, here's one for you. First book for High School DxD, released in 2008 in Japan. Released here, 2020, 12 years later. And it seems like every month they've been releasing books. Like, they released book 2 like the following month in January of 2021. Book 3 came out 3 months later in April. Book 4, another 3 months passed by, with July. Book 5 comes out in November 2021. Book 6, February 2022. 7, May of 2022. 8, August 2022. 9, November 2022. 10, January 2023. 11, May 2023. And a little bit longer gap between books here, between May and November. That's like 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. Where 12 came out in November 2023. And then book 13, which came out even longer. Of course, that was like a 5-month thing between. And of course, that was April 2024, which was last year. Book 14, which came out in August. Book 15 came out here in December 2024. Book 16 came out just last month. Yes, book 16. Last month. And 17 is supposed to come out in November, and they hadn't released any books yet. So these books, like, first it was 12, and now it's getting close to 10 years. 10, 11 years. I have honestly no idea why books like this just take so long to come out. Yeah, I have honestly no idea. It is quite baffling, to say the least. In the case of this, licensing. High School DxD, Who knows what the reason why for that one is, but as next week comes out, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't. So, expect a review for this some point whenever I get my hands on book 5. But after that, probably won't get a review for this thing until some point next year, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, G-Bot. Okay, next video. Bye.